everybody says don't hire your friends, but I only hire people that I consider are my friends. I think that it shows. I think people come into our stores, they know that our people know our product, and that we're easy to work with. As easy as you can be, you know what I mean?
We kind of joke about it when we have new employees come on, or we teach them the basics, show them the ropes, like here's how to file games, price them, do this and that. And then we're like, okay, and then the last thing is you also just have to know everything about every game ever created. Yeah.
I've been poking John for years. I'm like, hire me, and he finally did.
We tried to get in for about 1.5 years, 2 years, and then finally got the call. And I was like,
having someone as cool as John is really nice as far as ownership. I went from sales years ago to 3.5, 4 years ago coming to this store and working at level 7, and it's a totally different change of pace as far as like the hectic life of sales and that aspect of life to something that's more fun, something that's more upbeat, more on tempo with what I like to do.
super lucky to, get the opportunity to be here because it's just such a great shop, good people, for the most part.
Primarily, we're a video game store, but I like to think of it as more than that. Well, in fact, I know that it's more than that now. Now that we do tabletop and a lot of other stuff, we've, entered into the market of merchandise and a lot of other stuff. But, we like to think of ourselves as more of a brand, an entity. In 2009, I was working as a manager at Game Crazy, which was a subset of Hollywood Video. We found out that they were going out of business, and so we all went and found other jobs and started doing other stuff, which we instantly regretted, knowing that we weren't happy not working in the video game industry. So we pooled our collections together, quit our respective jobs, opened our own store.
It's interesting because there's definitely some struggles. Like there were some times early on, like when I first started, it was so informal. Yeah. Well, yeah, and it was, we were like, the first month or two, I just didn't take a day off because we were like, well, we don't really have a schedule set, but it was a labor of love where we were like, no, we want to make this thing work. And so we eventually did. We all kind of traded comfort and security for, something we really care about.
The direction, essentially was at that time just survive, try to not go out of business. Which, is always the end goal. Growing a business is great, but not going out of business is so much cooler than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so what manga is your shirt from?
Oh, this is something that actually John made.
Really?
It's one of our analog ink shirts.
Oh, there's a screen printing studio there.
oh!
Didn't expect that. Oh.
So my name is John with an H. You met the other John. I take care of all the t-shirts, all the analog ink side of the business. We, through a friend of a friend, were introduced to Macaulay Culkin, and he was looking for someone to handle all the shipping and production and everything for his website, for the shopping end of his website. So we stepped in and said we'd love to do it. So we take care of all the printing of the t-shirts, hoodies, any memorabilia that they sell on the moneyyears.com website, as well as we import and then also ship out the pins and things of that nature.
But no, yeah, it's an excellent place, especially if you're just looking to get away from that corporate nonsense, GameStop, Best Buy. Always just kind of feel overlooked at those places.
Why shop at Level 7 and not GameStop or Target? Because you like us better. It's one of those things where it's like when you come in here, you're going to meet the staff that we've selected. You're going to see the selection that we've put together. And essentially, I look at it, the stores is our collection. It's our clubhouse, and we're inviting you in. And if you don't like it here, you're welcome to go somewhere else. But at the end of the day, it's like we want people to come here. We want people to enjoy themselves. But we also want to be clear that we want a certain type of customer. We don't want people who are trying to like swindle us in some way. Like we're gonna put our foot down with those kind of people. And I think that's one of the biggest differences between us and big box retail is that we A, have to put our foot down, and B, we do make it very clear when a customer relationship isn't working. I guess if that makes sense. We want them to, but they don't always work out. So those people can go to Walmart, they can go to Target.
Keeping your money local is just that. It's like, it's not going, 1,500 places you don't want it to. It's like, okay, I paid for, John to eat this week. I know those dudes, okay, I help their family out. They come to my business, they help my family out. Like,
beyond that, like, it just feels better going into a place like this where, the employees actually care about you, care about, what you're walking out of the door with, like, if you ask me what a good game is, you hold up 2 games to me, I'm gonna tell you what game I personally think is, better, but then, you always have to say, everybody's got an opinion and everybody has different feels and likes different things. So, but we do that. Whereas like, other places they'll be like, oh yeah, it's good, buy it, give me that money. We care about our customers, So, and I think it shows too. We get a lot of people always coming in, and just saying, I'm never going to any shop ever again. This is my home now. So, yeah, I do see that more often than not. And obviously with me, this is the only place I'll ever come to for any of my video game needs. Or figure needs, or
I understand.
all that good stuff.
It's $15 sitting in my garage, so I don't care.
I think there's always going to be a market. There is going to be a consumer base who wants physical media. There are people with collector mentalities, and they like to put stuff on their shelves. They like to decorate their house with the stuff that they buy, with the stuff that they enjoy. They like to put their movies out and use it as a decoration. I do.
I think for a lot of people it is just, I don't want to say like nostalgia, but it's this comfort. I mean, even for me, like, before this store, before even like GameStops and stuff, like going to the store, even going to Toys R Us or whatever, and just buying the game, you know what I mean? It was kind of just a cool feeling. Or getting it for your birthday, or just, sort of like opening this box and you have the game there. I think there's that. I think there's also the concern when the Xbox One was first sort of teasing that they wouldn't do used games. Like when they first launched, it kind of caused this big uproar because people were like, well, what if I want to take this game to my friend's house and just play it or loan it to him or whatever? And that's still sort of a concern with digital media. Like you can't really trade or loan out a digital copy of a game.
so, I mean, physical games, it's just, more people getting a cut of the pie, essentially. Like, as a retailer, I get some of that money. If you buy it digital, it just goes straight to Sony, which, good for Sony, but it's like American internet isn't quite good enough for a download economy yet.
In addition to that, it's hard drive space. I mean, the hard drives that these places, that these companies are including with their systems aren't big enough to accommodate the collections of games that people are buying. I mean, how many movies, how many DVDs and VHSs do people own? Imagine that many video games in your library, and it's not all going to fit on your console. So you have this cloud that stores your stuff, which eventually may or may not go away. It's just, I think the big question marks are the reason that that people want physical media, and until those big question marks is, do I own this? Do I own this piece of software? Is there a way for me to resell it if I don't like it or if I'm done with it? I think that's the big question mark for this entire industry, and until they answer it, they can't go all digital. I just really don't think that they can. I mean, Microsoft found out the hard way, and I think that they're still paying for it this console generation. Rest in peace.
The Alameda location, like, we've been there almost 10 years, and we've seen, like, literally, we've watched kids grow up, which is kind of, like, scary and really hammers home how long we've been there when we see kids that, like, they were shopping there with their parents when they were 8, and now they're, like, 18. We're like, oh, God, you got huge.
It's what I like. I like talking to people. I like selling stuff. Like, it's easy for me to see a thing that I like and then be like, oh, you like that too? That's sick. You should buy it. everybody says don't hire your friends, but I only hire people that I consider are my friends. I think that it shows. I think people come into our stores, they know that our people know our product, our staff is great, and I think that's why we've been successful.